Alias.
Alright, so folks, welcome to the Short Vol Show Live. We're trying something new with the interview format. And so welcome Devin West, who's helping me out today. We're going to do a little viewer question and answer and see how it goes. Welcome, Devin.
Hey Dave, how you doing today?
Not bad.
Oh, that's good to hear. I got a couple questions for you, Dave.
Alright.
I'm new to the market. I don't know what to do. But first thing what I want to ask you is, Dave, what is the Vix?
Alright, that's a good question, seeing as my channel's named Vix Crush and whatnot. People ask that all the time. The Vix is a fear gauge. It was made by the SIBO in Chicago in the late 1990s. And it kind of measures how much fear there is in the market. And as I was talking to you before, it kind of ranges between, let's say, 8 or 9, and then goes up from there to like 100 when it spikes. And the lower numbers being when people are less afraid. So like, for example, right now we're around 13, means that there's not that much fear going on in the market. When there's some, if the market crashes or something, it could go to 100. But usually when it spikes up there, as we call it, it comes back down pretty rapidly.
All right. I'm feeling you on that. I also got another question for you, Dave. How can I do a trade to make money if volatility goes up?
I'm glad you asked that question.
Me too.
And somebody actually posed a question like this on the in the comments in YouTube this week. And a lot of times we shy away from getting long volatility as full-time VIX traders because UVXY and VXXB are very inefficient for trading, but there are times when you do want to get long volatility, and if you do that, I would recommend that you pick a time, and if it doesn't work after, let's say, 48 hours, you get right out of the trade, because if you don't do that, it's going to decay very rapidly. And the best way to do that, as I was mentioning to another guy online, might be to buy some out-of-the-money calls. That gives you some serious leverage if things go your way.
Okay, well that's very good to know. Thank you for that. I also wanted to ask you too, why does UVXY always go down?
Well, UVXY, if you pull up the chart of it, you'll see it coming from like 10,000 down to where it is now, around 30, and it's reverse split several times. And it's slowly gone down over time. And this is mostly due to the decaying effects of Contango. UVXY is based on 2 futures, and the futures are always in Contango. That meaning that the second month future is always higher in price than the first month future. So for example, right now, VIX spot's around 13 something, as we said. The first month future is around 14 something, and the second month future is around 15 something. So every day, we sell a little bit of those futures for 14, and we take that money and we buy some of the futures for 15. And that process of selling something for cheap and buying something more expensive and then having the futures falling towards spot is what makes UVXY go down over time.
Okay, all right. Well, that's another good thing to know. Dave, last question for you. What's a good way to make money when volatility goes down?
Right, so this is one of our favorite ways to make money, because when volatility goes down, you have not only the effects of volatility coming in, but you also have the effects of Contango on your side. And my favorite way to do that would be to either buy put spreads in UVXY or sell call spreads in UVXY. And the reason I choose that is these are limited risk trades. You know how much you can lose getting into it, and you know how much you can make, and therefore with a defined risk trade, you can't get into too much trouble. You're not going to get somebody tapping you on the shoulder saying you need to deposit more money in your account or you owe the bank some sort of money. That can happen to you if you're just selling naked calls or naked puts. So defined risk trades in UVXY, buying put spreads or selling call spreads.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's thank you for all that information, Dave. I really appreciate it.
Well, I don't feel like I've completely illuminated you, but hopefully over time
it's a lot to take in at one time, my man.
I understand. But
definitely learned something today, which will help me begin my journey as a trader.
Well, I would say that you'll probably remember at least that the higher numbers are higher VIX numbers means worse stuff is happening, and lower VIX numbers means calmer stuff's happening.
Which is funny. I mean, lower the better, higher the worse. So it's kind of like reverse the stock market. The stock market, as it goes up, it gets better. As it goes down, it gets worse. So that's kind of cool how that works.
That's entirely true, and that is why people use the VIX to hedge the stock market, because if they start to lose money in the stock market, they'll make money in their VIX, and it works as a hedge for people.
No, I do like that. So.
All right, well, hopefully that gives you just some basic answers to some questions, and we'll continue to go over this stuff in the future, and by repetition, you should pick up a little bit each time. So thanks for watching today, and thanks to Devin for helping out. And
thank you very much, Dave, for having me on the show today. I appreciate it.
All right, and we'll see you next time.